who want to understand who really is ruling this world. Now, the months of the year are actually named after Rome, Roman gods, Roman rituals, etc., etc. Now, let's take a look in order from January. Now, I want to be very clear as well. I really don't like to say the names of false gods, but for the sake of this video and educational purposes, I will be saying some of those names as we go through the months.
So he doesn't like to say the names of gods. That's the type of person that we're dealing with here. And I guess we're wondering exactly why you can't celebrate New Year's at all if you're a Christian, according to this person anyway. So I am Brentley, and this is the Punk Apostate. Let's go. That's weird. No music. I don't know if it came out on that end, but it's not coming here. So something went wrong. Weird. It's all right. Let's see. So this is this AVS guy. I'm not sure if everybody's familiar. He's a really fundy type of apologist dude that is just, he always seems to kind of be way out there in the fringes as far as like what he thinks is normal Christian doctrine and what you're supposed to do and not supposed to do and all that type of stuff. So he's very interesting, and yeah, he's kind of fun to mess with. So let's give him a watch here. Like, that's already just a turn off. I'm sorry, but like the like that just is already creepy. You know, I was not a fan of the weird heaven sounding music, but you know, okay, I guess that's their thing. That's the audience they're going for. You know, all right.
And blessings family, AVS here, and this one may seem a little strange to some people, but bear with me, and hopefully by the end of this video, you understand exactly what I'm saying. Now, this is why I don't celebrate New Year as a Christian. Let's start off in the book of Romans, Romans 12:2, and it states, "And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God." Now, let me be very clear.
So it's like, yeah, I mean, it's weird when they do this because they're like, you can't be part of the world. And to me, that just seems like such a stark, it just shows like how much they're trying to just get you separated from everybody. You know what I mean? Like, you can't, no, the whole world is bad. So just don't be part of that. Be part of our little thing, you know, because the entire world is evil. Like, that just, it never occurred to me how manipulative that is until you get outside of the religion. You're like, oh, that's why they're always talking about worldly and all this type of shit.
I'm not condemning you if you do celebrate New Year's, and I'm not trying to push anybody under the law. I'm simply explaining to you why I, now that I am saved, now that I am filled with the Holy Spirit, choose to walk and operate in this world in a certain way. So this video is not for the closed-minded. It is not for those who do not want.
I highly disagree. Now, this is exactly for the most closed-minded. What do you? I don't know what they mean when they say closed-minded, because I don't think they don't know what that word means.
To grow in knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. But it is for those who want to grow, who want to learn, who want to understand who really is ruling this world. Now, the
Roman gods. The Roman gods are ruling this world because of the calendar.
Months of the year are actually named after Rome, Roman gods, Roman rituals, etc., etc. Now, let's take a look in order from January. Now, I want to be very clear as well. I really don't like to say the names of false gods, but for the sake of this video and educational purposes, I will be saying some of those names as we go through the months. So
it's so weird that they're scared to say the names. Like, what are they, fucking Voldemort? Like, what is happening? Why, you know, like, what? Why can't they say the damn name? That's so weird.
So starting off is January, and January was named after a pagan god called Janus. And this god, this quote-unquote god, was the god of doors and gates, symbolizing beginnings and transition.
He keeps on doing sound effects when I can't hear what he's saying. The god of what? Felt like like did he say borders? Or like, I don't know, and fences? Or rules?
Janus had two faces, and these two faces apparently allowed him to look forwards and backwards, fitting for the start of a new year. At least that's what they believe.
Let's see, Mighty Space Chicken, what's up? Said, hey, Brantley, Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you. That's right. I'm filled with the spirit. Oh, okay. Tennessee Fire counts, doesn't it? Like you got some Tennessee whiskey? Is that what that is? Tennessee Fireball type whiskey? Is it the spiced kind? I don't know. It's good stuff. Yeah.
But remember what the Most High told us? Not to look back. You don't want to be like Lot's wife. Now that leads us on to February.
Yeah, another manipulative thing that's not like, don't even think about like anything the way it was before or anything like that. That's so like, don't think about it. Don't look at it. Don't look back. Like, don't compare now to then and think that something could be better than now or whatever. No, because just stop. Don't look at anything. Just keep on focusing where we want you to focus, like over here, just to my religion, and that's it. You know, don't be part of the world. So weird.
And February derived from Februa, an early Roman festival and so-called cleansing ritual held on February the 15th. Now, it was later associated with February, an Etruscan god of purification. But some do debate.
Why does he keep on? Oh, is it? No, because it's saying their name. It's just they keeps on doing like water and shit over what the words. Like, I can't make out what he's.
Even unto this day, about the direct link between February and that specific deity. Now moving on to March. March was named after Mars, the Roman god of war. And March marked the beginning of the campaign season for Roman soldiers. And this is very significant. Maybe we can go deeper into that in a later video. Now, April is an interesting one because April is very, very widely debated. But it is linked to the Latin Aprilis.
People just out debating April, like debating what about April? Like which god it was? Or are they just like, no, it is April? Like, no, it isn't. Okay, well, what day? Show a calendar right now. Do it. Show me on your phone, your calendar. Okay. All right, fine. I guess it is April. Shit. All right.
And it may have derived from the Latin verb apparire, meaning to open, possibly referring to the opening of blossoming of flowers and trees. But some do associate it with Aphrodite, the Greek goddess of love. But this connection is actually, a lot of speculation. And it isn't very important for this video anyway. Then you have May, and this false god is...
any of this important for this video? Is anything in this video important at all? Like what would be important to the video?
Lifted up a lot in pagan circles. This god is named after Maya. May is named after Maya, and it is the so-called goddess of the earth.
Maya's got her own month. I didn't know that, So it's the Bad Science Sundays got their own month. That's cool.
And of growing plants, and the month of May was seen as an important time for the growth of crops in ancient Rome.
Christopher said, Happy New Year, all you minor threats to religion. Fuck yeah, dude. Very good. Love minor threat. They're fun.
And this actually links with Maya's association with fertility, which, well, that can get very, very immoral very quickly when you take out the truth.
It very immoral very easily because, people have to reproduce and God only wants you to do it a very specific way. And it all has everything to do with who you are lusting after and when and why. And if you ain't doing the lusting right, then you are just, you are just lusting flames of hell all over you. Which
is Christ. Now, June was named after Juno, the Roman queen of the gods, and
the pregnant, no, what?
Goddess of marriage and childbirth, reflecting the popularity of June weddings even in ancient times. Now, I'm going to go.
Let's see, Edgier said, so he doesn't say the names of the planets either, right? Does he say the names of the days of the week? How do you even communicate with people? I know. It's so stupid. They are associated with like pretensies gods, so therefore evil, because really every day of the week should just be named Jesus. What day is it? It's Jesus. What? Yeah, they're just all Jesus.
go through these a little faster now because I want to focus on one specific month, which is what this video is about, and that's celebrating New
Thank
Year.
you.
Now, July was
I was just saying, like, May is named after Maya, which I did not know that. So, yeah, Jared put the link to their show, though. It's kind of cool. Bad Science Sundays. It's excellent. Go check it out.
originally called Quintilis, meaning the 5th month in Latin, but it was renamed in honor of Julius Caesar. Many don't know this, but July is actually named after Julius Caesar, and it was named in 44 BC. So even though Caesar was not a god, the Romans used to look to the emperors in a similar way to they would look to gods.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're kind of up there with gods. They're just not. They're just like the human versions of it because they still believe that they are ordained to be to rule and everything. So they think of themselves as like gods, but I don't think they were actually gods. But yeah, I mean, he's close enough with that. Whatever.
Now, August was originally called Sextilis, meaning the 6th month, and it was renamed in honor of Emperor Augustus in 8 BC, in a similar way that July was named after Julius Caesar. So yeah, that's how August was. And
I actually didn't know any of this about like August and July. That's interesting. July and August are both after Caesars.
you're noticing a pattern here. These months are all linked to Rome. This information is a puzzle piece, and on up-and-coming videos,
Christopher said, "Ah, yes, the inventor of the salad, truly the god of vegans." Yes, that's right.
hopefully it helps you understand in a deeper way what is taking place in the world today by having this knowledge. Now, September to December, these months are named for their positions in the original Roman calendar. September meaning septum, 7. October meaning octo, 8. November meaning novum, 9. And December meaning decem, 10. Now, if you notice this, it's very interesting because we know that December is not actually the 10th month of the year, but the 12th. And this will be tying in, as I said before, in later studies.
You minus 2 from all of them. You just got to subtract 2, and then they're all in the right spot, right? No, I don't know. I just know, like, I always thought that was weird. And the October thing messed me up for the longest time because I would be like, you know, anytime when I was a kid, you know, like when you first start writing your checks, we had to do this thing. There's these things called checks that you used to have to fill out to pay for stuff. Yeah. Anyway, it's some ancient technology that nobody uses anymore. But and you'd have to write down the name of the number of the month. October, I could never get it. It was always 8. I mean, I was like 8, like Halloween was always on 8/31, you know, because I could not see 8 when I looked at October because octo, you know, just octopus, like everything is always 8. Why is it the 10th month? It's fucking confusing.
Are willing. So now that I've proven to you that the system you go by today is directly linked to ancient Rome, let's move on to why I personally...
Skeptics and scoundrels there. So said Romans screw up everything. I know, right? They do. You know, that Colosseum's like fallen. That is part of this. Like half of it's missing. Be better, Rome. Come on, get a new Colosseum or something. Remodel the shit. God damn.
Do not celebrate New Year. Now listen very carefully because Janus is uniquely depicted with 2 faces, 2 heads.
I love that Andrew is here to point these things out because so Andrew said Caesar salad isn't vegan. Okay, it's got those little oh no, wait, what am I thinking of? No, vegans can eat the croutons, right? Wait, what isn't vegan then in it? Is it the dressing? Because it has that fish in it, doesn't it? I don't know. Damn, what the hell is that? The paste. Shit, I can't think of it. It has like a fish paste in it, if I'm not mistaken.
And this represents the...
Is that what you're talking about? Hold on, let me. I didn't read the rest of it. Isn't vegan. Sometimes it contains chicken. Oh, there it is. Okay, chicken. The dressing contains anchovies. Thank you, anchovy paste. All I had to do was read. All right. You know what? Sometimes I'm just like, wow. All right. And the salad has cheese on. Oh, and cheese, of course. That's funny. Yeah, definitely not. That's wow. That's like 3 different ways that it's not vegan. That's crazy. Vegans can't even eat certain salad. Oh, y'all, I'm sorry for y'all. That's just not a that's no way to live. Okay. That is just you might as well just you might as well just tape yourself up in a box or something and exist that way if you're gonna be a vegan. No, I'm just kidding. But oof, it seems like so much to go through to be a vegan. And then you have to be not feeling great most of the time, right? Like you got to just be exhausted all the time. I mean, all the ones I know look like they have fucking jaundice and shit. I don't know.
The concept of duality. This goes directly against the Most High Yah. Janus is looking at the past and at the future.
Yeah, see, egg and anchovy. Very good. Yeah, Bruce got it. How did I'm like the only one like what? And I couldn't. The thing that came to my mind was because I'm so used to these more modern diets, which are more about grains, like not eating grains. So of course my mind goes straight to croutons. I'm like, oh, they can't eat croutons because that's got the grains in it. But that's keto. I'm not talking and the whole thing would not work for keto because they don't eat salads. They only eat like meat and stuff, right? So I was way off. Is my point.
According to their belief system. Simultaneously, this is a contradiction to how we are instructed to behave.
Eat a sandwich, Kevin. Okay, I don't know what it's lunch. It's lunchtime. Okay, it's time to eat a sandwich. Do you have a sandwich? Kevin said, "Oh, that's not Kevin. I'm sorry. Pragmatic said, making me hungry." Yeah, the sandwich time. Actually, I don't know what time it is for you. If it was Kevin, I'd know exactly what time it was for him. But I don't know what time it is for Pragmatic Crystal. So it might be lunchtime. It might not be, depending upon where you're at. So I don't know. Let's see. Christopher said, "When I escape from propaganda prison, I shall return. The rivalry." Wow. Fight over this. I mean, she got you that time. Okay, she was right and demonstrated such. So it's tough. I know she's. You don't want to come up against her. She knows her shit. Okay, she knows it pretty good. All right. Let's see. Edger said, "I'm vegan and I'm making bomb ass breakfast burritos right now. I'll post pics on the Discord." Yeah, please do. Yeah, I did update the Discord too because for some reason it wasn't letting anybody in. I think I have to update it every week or something like that. I don't know, but yeah. So Andrea said she is vegan. That's right. And and you don't look like you have jaundice, do you? I'm seriously just asking. I'm just kidding. No, I give vegans a hard time because, well, it's easy, but but no, honestly, if every single time that I've had the conversation with vegans about morality and the moral, the ethics about eating meat and stuff like that, I always feel like I'm like, all right, fine, you're right. God damn it. Stop being right about this because I'd really rather you weren't right about this. But they are. So it's, there's nothing we can do. They have the ethical high ground.
As the body of Christ, to operate in truth with a single mind. You see, Janus actually represents deceit and hypocrisy.
Let's see. Andrew said, "I'm also not jaundice." Okay, but that's good. That's good. I'm actually overweight. I don't look like what you would expect, really, of a vegan. Man, anytime I think of vegan, you just automatically think like super fit to skinny. You know what I mean? Right? Like, I don't know, one of those, like those, those calisthenics types of dudes that they like work out, they're super ripped, but like not like bulky ripped, almost more like Spider-Man ripped, right? That's what I picture when I think of vegan. I don't know why, and then with jaundice, but yellow, but that's that's just my, cynical assumptions.
Hypocrisy, which directly goes against the Most High. It teaches people to be double-minded, where we are to be single-minded in all our ways.
I'm sorry, I missed a bunch of
how we are instructed. Janus is looking at the past and at the future, according to their belief system, simultaneously. This is a contradiction to how we are instructed to behave as the body of Christ, to operate in truth with a single mind. You see, Janus actually represents...
Hold on. So Janus is focused on the future and the past. Okay. technically that's all that exists. There isn't really a present. All of our present is just in the very quick past. Like it's just me saying what I just said in the past. Just happened. It's done now, right? So and then the future, uh, and he's like, that's bad. So looking to the future and acknowledging the past is bad because that's double-minded. How is it double-minded? You're just acknowledging anyway. Jeez, please.
Deceit and hypocrisy, which directly goes against the Most High. It teaches people to be double-minded, where we are to be single-minded in all our ways. We are to be focused. If thine eye be single, thy whole body be full of light. You see, Janus.
What? See, it's so funny the stuff they get out of these verses for like, single-mindedness. So what, you can't have options. There's no such thing as having options and making choices. Those could not possibly exist because you have to be single-minded about everything. You have to already know everything that you're going to do, and then you do it exactly the way you were going to do it before. And you can't make decisions about anything. You just got, what the fuck, man? It's so weird, the stuff they get hung up on.
Was actually revered as the god of beginnings, endings, and transitions, and even time. And in many occasions,
I already assumed so. I mean, you've got a kitty as your picture, and that's almost just a dead giveaway of beautiful people. Beautiful people always show the cat. I'm just saying that is a law. That is a law of science.
War and peace. But the pagan understanding of time and change is linked directly to rituals and offerings to gain favors in new endeavors.
But don't Christians have like, he's like all the pagan stuff about like times coming and then, doing a ritual at those times when the times come, and you said that's all pagan. What the fuck, man? What? No, it's not. Like Christians have rituals too that they do on certain time. What do you think fucking Passover and shit is? What is Christmas? What is any Christian ritual? They all are based on time, and then it's a ritual that is done within time. Oh my God.
And when you analyze this very deeply, you understand that people are still practicing this paganism today with New Year's resolutions in January. They have just reformed paganism, presented it to the world, and a lot of people run with it in ignorance.
See, Christopher said, gasp, it's Byzantine Voldemort. Hey, you can't say that name. All right. Hey, what are you trying to like conjure him up? And then he starts as like a baby, and then give him more time. People say his name even more, and then he becomes a human. You don't want all that. Okay. It's bad news.
Now, like I said, I'm not here to condemn anyone, but simply to share the truth with you. Remember what Paul the Apostle...
He does look really weird as a baby, though, right? That was freaky to me. I was like, if he stays like this, I would actually think that's a bit more terrifying than Darth Vader, if I'm being perfectly honest. Just like the little fucking... It reminds me of the guy in... what was it? Total Recall, that like the Mondu or whatever the fuck his name was, that comes out of the guy's stomach and open your mind, Creed. Like that's what he reminded me of when Voldemort first showed up. I was like, they should have kept him like that. That's scary. Okay. Once he got like a body and stuff, it's like, okay, this dude he just doesn't have a nose. This isn't really okay.
Apostle said, have I become your enemy because I tell you the truth? Sadly, a lot of people, once they are saved, they want to hold on to the world. And it's a very dangerous way to think because it stops those people from progressing. They're happy where they are. They're happy to stay stagnant because they don't want to be.
See, they're literally telling you not to be happy. That's so strange. It's like, why would anybody want to believe your fucking thing, man? You're literally saying that they can't sit. Like they can't just be. They have to be, doing this, like going after the goal type of thing, always trying to be the best, the greatest, whatever. And it's like, that sounds fucking exhausting, man. And it is exhausting. You see that they do this. They exhaust themselves by trying to chase their tail, trying to follow all these fucking rules, including thought crime and stuff, and it's all just to wear you down so you never pay attention that you're just being manipulated,
Kodesh, set apart from the world. Now, the gates of Janus in Rome were opened in times of...
Did you hear they got a second... Mighty Space Chicken said, Beetlejuice. Was it all three of them a question? Just the last one. I don't know. But yeah, I hear there's a new one coming out, and it's got Michael Keaton in it. and it's gonna be like Beetlejuice too. I don't know. I was like, that's kind of cool. At first, I thought it was like a joke. You know how there's always those like Marvel, those like fake Marvel posters and stuff that get circulated. And you're like, oh, that'd be awesome. And then it turns out it wasn't real. That's what I thought for the longest time. But no, it turns out they are actually making a Beetlejuice too. So that'll be kind of cool. You know.
Of war and closed during times of peace is very significant and very interesting, because what is January doing? What is happening when people are celebrating January, celebrating the new year? They are opening doors. This is taking place whether people understand it or not. When somebody celebrates a pagan deity, they are celebrating what comes with that deity, whether that be opening doors to demonic entities or whatever it may be. They are opening themselves up to
by celebrating the new. So you don't even have to know that you are celebrating some pagan god. Now, keep in mind, they think that pagan gods are made up. They think that they are not real gods. It's not like they think that they're actual gods that but their god's more powerful. No, none of those gods exist in their belief system. But somehow acknowledge it, like just celebrating something that used to be associated with one of those pagan gods that it's not associated with anymore, somehow like has magical evil powers that awaken the demons that are associated with the false god. Like none of it fucking adds up. Like I could have sworn that this wouldn't matter because those gods aren't real, but even just wow, it's just even referencing something that's in reference to them without you even knowing it, like wakes up fucking pagan demons. Come on, man.
deception by coming into agreement with falsehood. So the opening of the doorway to Janus is opening themselves up to spiritual warfare, because they are no longer trusting in the Most High, but they are signing over a New Year's resolution to a deity that is not the Most High.
So Mighty Space Chicken said, operate as a single mind. Or sounds like the Borg are coming. What, like something that'll what are the Borg? I don't know that reference. Is that a invasion of the body snatchers or something? I don't know. It's interesting.
So the opening of the doors in times of war and the closing in times of peace is very significant. And this practice highlights the fact that it is a ritual, whether people want to acknowledge it or not. We have to be aware as the body of Christ that we are in spiritual warfare consistently.
Hold on. What? Christopher said, in the Philippines, we used to nail a volunteer to a cross for an annual Christian march. Well, that just doesn't seem appropriate. That's legal over there, because you're just describing crucifying somebody. That's all. Do you stab their side too, or like they get the cat of nine tails before you start? Like, how does this go? How does this work?
We are always victorious when we know who we are in Christ. No weapon formed against us shall prosper. We always have the victory. But those of us who understand spiritual warfare, we want the rest of the body to understand as well, so that you continually walk in peace, love, joy, wisdom, knowledge, understanding, and do not conform to the ways of the world, and therefore
Anastasia said, those gods are demons. Obvi. Okay, come on. Open
yourselves up to spiritual warfare that you don't need to be involved in. There was actually temples dedicated.
That's why. Right. The Mighty Space Chicken said, the Borg, Star Trek, a hive mind of essentially cybernetic zombies. Okay, I think I remember those things. They were in one of the movies, right? There was like that was like the only movie I remember seeing was like the cyborg things with the little squares on their covering their eye or whatever, where the bad guy. Okay, cool. Thank you. No, I appreciate that. I need to start watching Star Trek. Everybody keeps talking about it, and and I just keep on watching Star Wars, and those things suck, man. They're not good. They're not good. I mean, they're more realistic in the sense that fascists are just always right about to take over everything, but that's not good entertainment. I'd actually kind of much rather see some socialist utopia, instead of some much more realistic capitalistic like system, in action.
To Janus, and Janus was a cult. It was a place where they worshipped and sacrificed to that pagan deity. They practiced idol worship,
What's a
which
cult?
literally goes against the first commandment. Of course, we know that. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. We know Yahweh
Wait, you're
is the
talking
true
about,
God.
but you're talking about other people in like ancient times. So, okay.
You know, and Janus was also considered a god of commerce and trade, symbolizing a focus on material wealth and prosperity. But what are people trading? You see, what are people trading? They're trading their faith. They're putting their faith in something else. For example, when somebody makes a New Year's resolution, who are they making that resolution to?
What?
The majority of people. They are making that resolution in ignorance.
No,
And they are
they're making it to themselves, man. What? Okay, it's like he doesn't know what a New Year's resolution is. It's like you being like, hey, I want to do something better next year. This is the moment that the year starts. That would be the best time to implement this thing that I want to do. You're just making it to yourself. There is no other God involved. Like, what are you talking about? I'm an atheist. I've made plenty of New Year's resolutions and stuff, or just resolutions in general. It doesn't have to be New Year's. If I want to stop doing something, like for instance, like when I stop drinking, it's like, hey, I don't want to drink anymore, so I'm gonna just not do that anymore. And then the other me that was like, on the fence about it was like, okay, let's try it. And then we both ended up being satisfied in the end, because just you wake up not feeling sick. It's a whole thing. But yeah, much better.
placing it upon themselves most of the time, saying that they're going to do something rather than Yah's will be done. I've never come across anybody who
Hey, Maya said, "Is this a spoof?" I fucking wish it was, but it's not. No, this is the AVS weirdo guy that always says Most High and then says some unintelligible name for Jesus that I can't or something. I don't know. And he's definitely not. He's got a British accent, so he's not. It's not like it's some. It's not like anything that has to do with his culture. So I don't know what word he's saying when he's. I don't know. We'll see if it comes up, but you'll see what I mean. But no, this is the AVS dude.
who said their New Year's resolution is that the Most High's will be done in their life. I've never come across anybody who does that. And even if there was, why do you need a New Year's resolution for that? Why not do it now? Why wait until the new year? And those people are very hypocritical because their New Year's resolution normally only lasts around 2 weeks or a month.
What? Hold on. I feel like I have to be reading this wrong. I'm resolved to add more worshipers to my titty mob. I'm not reading something right. Did you sat on the keyboard and then press send by no? What happened? I don't know what's happening here. I'm and it really spelled titty wrong. It's TITTY. I don't
Month, okay? So
but if you want a titty mob, just go to adamandeve.com and get yourself go to adamandeve.com, enter code word Brently at checkout. That's BRENTLY at checkout to get 50% off almost any one item, 6 free movies, 3 free gifts, free shipping on the whole order. Go to adamandeve.com. I'm sure they have all the titty mobs that you can ask for, and other stuff for them as well, I'm sure, as well as other body parts that are sensitive that you can mess with and have fun. So go to adamandeve.com, enter code word Brently at checkout. It's BRENTLY at checkout to get your exclusive offer. Get your butt some stuff or your titties. You can get titties or butts. I don't, anything. Just get all the stuffs. All right. Thank you for that, Maya. That's a perfect little segue.
Stop with the New Year's resolutions and act today. Stand in Christ today. Yah's will be done today. If you want to go to the gym, go today.
What if today is the first of the year, man? You're kind of telling them not to do that. What do you mean? Like, do it today? Like, that's the thing, is like when it's the first day of the year, it's starting to get you thinking about how you'd like things to be for the following year. And that would just be the time to update the way that you want to be, and do your best to try to be better. It's weird to vilify that in any kind of, set. What if somebody was like, I want to be a better Christian in 2024? Would you be like, you're worshiping a pagan god by wanting to be a better Christian in 2024? That's what you're doing right there. So that's actually evil. What, man? What are you doing?
Hey, If you want to eat healthy today. If you want to read the Bible more, read it today. Why do you have to wait for a new year? You see,
Christopher said, my butt has never been better. I'm telling you, and you've got some of the butt stuff from adamandeve.com, right? Because it really does up the butt game. You know what I'm saying? Right. I don't know why that's
see,
cracks me.
people are putting their faith in something else. They're making something else a mediator without realizing it. Now, I know already there's going to be people who are hard-headed and they're going to try and find a way to justify.
Christopher's, are the New Year's resolutions the next conspiracy psyop? Yes. Everything is not only the next, but the current conspiracy psyop. Okay. Because everything, I'm just kidding. Fucking, I have to make sure that I timestamp this in case I get, in case I get in trouble again. Because no conspiracies aren't real. Or I'm sorry, conspiracy theories aren't real. Conspiracies are a completely different thing, but they get mixed up quite a bit. Anyway,
what they do and what they believe in. But like I said, this video is not for those people. It's for people who are spiritually mature and want to progress, want to take their walk with the Most High whilst here on the earth. More.
What is spiritually mature? That's funny. That's interesting. Like, what does that mean? Like, what would a spiritually mature person? They wouldn't ever ask for anybody to pull their finger. That's what that is, because they're spiritually mature. Let's see. As I said, all hail Bigfoot. That's right. He seems to be more logically possible than gods. So yeah, I would hail the thing that's definitely more likely to exist than a god before, a god that doesn't. So Pragmatic said, and other stuff.
More seriously, be more well-informed, operate in a more powerful way spiritually, operate in spiritual warfare in a more powerful way, and not hand themselves over to the ways of the world just because they are saved. Now this is very interesting, because what would people do?
Pragmatic said, not into butt stuff, but you do, you boo. Well, you just haven't realized it yet. No, just wait. Just next time you masturbate, sit on your thumb. Just pop it right up. Then you'll see what I'm talking. Then you'll be ordering plugs. It'll be the next great thing.
In the ancient times, to worship Janus, they would swear by it. They would put a statement out about this being, and they would say they're going to do something now, and they would invoke that demon. They would invoke that false god in order to be the mediator of what they're about to do. And that's exactly what people are doing on New Year's. They would also have feasts. They would drink and they would celebrate and have parties, and they would gather together with their families and see it as a special occasion when they come together to quote unquote honor.
So that wakes up demons just because somebody else celebrated a thing like centuries ago, but because they celebrated a thing on a particular day, that means that you're celebrating the same thing that they're celebrating without you realizing it now. And that wakes up demons. Okay. Why they should have just gone like the partying is bad. Like that would make more sense than what this person's doing. It's like, they encourage alcohol use or whatever, you know what I mean? Like that would make so much more sense than be like, no, but it's not the alcohol use or the drug use or the just party mentality. It's the demons that you're waking up. And they're like, oh, okay, well, it's fucking demon. I guess we got to not celebrate New Year's now because of the fucking demon god, pagan, whatever the fuck.
That false god. A lot of people have been deceived into it. Sadly, many are not aware that Babylon is still active, that paganism is still active, that Satan operates.
Mighty Space Digger said, wow, this video is definitely not for me. I'm 41 and still not mature. Dude, me either. Okay. I don't even know what that means. Mature. Like, I don't care about being mature. It's funny too, because we were just talking about this, how like our generation, millennials, I'm a millennial. Right. I'm almost 41. I'm not quite 41 yet, but I'm getting there. And it's just funny because like a lot of the generations before us, like I think X might have started this, but then we kind of just really went into it. The generations before that all had this, like, when you get to a certain age, you have to not like things. Like you have to, you got to be old, you know, you grown up and you have to like certain things. You have to not like certain things because if you know, like if you get over the age of like 21 or whatever, you can't like comic books anymore. You know, that would be like something that my dad's generation, what is that? We don't fucking play with that shit. We're like, nah, dude, like I liking stuff is universal. It has nothing to do with how old you are, you know, and mature, you know, maturity and everything. Like if you like something, just fucking like the thing. Who gives a shit? And it's funny how much those earlier generations were beholden to everybody's judging, you know. Oh, look, oh, you still read comic books, you loser. Like Bill Maher. Everybody was fucking Bill Maher. That's what it was, you know. And then everybody was like, everybody actually listened to Bill Maher. You know, they're like, oh, don't make fun. Okay, fine. I'll stop liking the comic stuff. I'll just start, you know, what about tools? I gotta like tools. I'll start working on my car. That's all I'm allowed to like now because I'm old.
In any
Fucking
way he
bullshit.
possibly can to steal worship from the Most High, even when it's not a salvation issue. It's still very dangerous. You reap what you sow. Should we be partaking?
I mean, this is, oh man, yeah, Anastasia is absolutely right. It is just a trick of manipulation, like, right, to make you feel like you're doing bad things, even when you don't realize it. Like, come on, man. Anastasia said this whole thing is so hypocritical. Apparently, going to church or just believing is not enough to be a Christian, but unknowingly celebrating a pagan holiday makes you a pagan. What the fuck? I don't. Like, it just is so. It's so stupid. Like how could you possibly think that you're doing anything wrong if you can't even notice that you're doing anything wrong? You know, like anytime that I've done something that I know and knew at the time like that was wrong and I felt guilty for was something I know that I did that was like hurtful to somebody. You know what I mean? To an actual somebody, not like a made up magical man in the sky that's like, oh man, he celebrated New Year's. You know, he doesn't even realize all the demons that he just woke up because those are pagan gods, and everybody knows the pagan gods are actually demons that wake up anytime you celebrate their fucking day. What? It's so stupid.
In Rome, when we are now in Christ, the answer is simple.
Say when in Rome, you know,
very simple. Christ always spoke with profound wisdom, and the word has many layers.
I disagree vehemently with that. That's just not. He got mad at a fig tree when it wasn't even fig season. It was like, what are you doing, fig tree? Why don't you know what? Curses on you. Curses. That's not wisdom. That was actually the opposite. Stupidity, I'd say.
Some people only read at the surface level. Others are able to see the meat, even where many only see milk.
And if you want to see some meat, just go to adamandeve.com and you got all the stuff to see all the meats and play with all the meats, you know? Whether it's, no, I'm not going to go into that detail. That would be way too graphic for this. But go to adamandeve.com, enter code word Brently, BRENTLY at checkout. Get your exclusive offer. Just did this. But that was fun, right? That was good.
So why do I not celebrate New Year? Well, because first of all, I consider all days the same.
Wow, you're boring. Wow, you're a boring fucking person. God, like, who would ever want to be like you? I consider every day the exact same. Like, isn't that like, that's like the thing people say when they're not happy with life. They're like, every day is exactly the fucking same. You know, I play golf on Sundays, but I hate golf. That was from Old School. It's a comedy movie. You know, anyway. Yeah, that sucks. Like every day, you don't want every day to be the same. It's actually another reason why I think that heaven sounds boring as fuck. Everything's going to be the same all day, every day, like all, you know, and you don't even get to go to sleep. There isn't even multiple days. There's just constant daytime. You don't even get to go to sleep. You know, apparently you're having to worship all the time. The streets are made of gold that nobody can spend. I don't know what the fuck the point of that is. What is everybody breaking off pieces of the street to go see a fucking movie? What is happening?
And I am fully convinced in my own mind that Christ is King of every day, that he is Lord of every day, that I worship him in spirit and truth every day, that I am in him and his word is in me. Therefore, when I speak in...
Let's see. Christopher said, spiritually mature is an adverb definition to be in a state of having completed at least 6 degrees of indoctrination. That's pretty good, actually. And being perfectly fine with it, you know? That's the other thing. Like, all right, I'm just indoctrinated and brainwashed, and I'm okay with that. I am. Well, I kind of have to be because I'm brainwashed. That's sort of the point. As I said, demons are real. Just get a pup. Just saying. Demons are. Hold on. What? Demons are real. Just get a pup. Okay. I have no idea what to. We can. We can talk about that too. I mean, I do recommend getting puppies. So, especially if you're a bored type of person, or, just if you live alone, or get a puppy. It's a lot of fun. Pragmatic said 64, take care of that sweet pup. So 64, take care of that. Oh, yeah. Got it. Yeah, please take care of the pup, Don't be a villain, okay? Only villains are against puppies. You know what's so funny? Speaking of puppies, it was so weird. There was like this this is so out of the blue, but I was just mentioned puppies. It's so funny. You know that Tucker Carlson he does not like Ron DeSantis because when he came to his house, he like kicked his puppy. Like DeSantis like kicked his dog or something, and they didn't like the dog and stuff. And he was like, and weird thing to like agree with Tucker Carlson on, but he was like, I can't trust that guy if he's like willing to like if he doesn't like dogs and stuff. It was just so funny. And I was like, wow, that just says so much about Ron DeSantis that even Tucker Carlson doesn't like him because he thinks he's fucking weird. Why? Oh, because he doesn't like dogs. But honestly, that makes more sense than most of the things Tucker Carlson fucking says out of his goddamn face. So I don't know.
In accordance with his will. When I walk in accordance with his will. When I love, I do this because he has made me able to do so. When I celebrate for him. When I eat for him.
But you're not.
When I drink.
You just said you're not allowed to celebrate, dude. Like you just said every day, you see every day as the same, which means based on what you just fucking said, sir, that you can't celebrate. If every day is the same, that completely removes the concept of celebration at all. Like what are you talking about, man? It's so funny when it's like, I swear they don't think about what they're saying as they're saying it. They just like keep on saying stuff and then they just completely contradict themselves. Like so often, it's unreal.
I drink for him. Everything I do is for him.
Wait, if you drink for, I feel like I've heard that one before. Okay. No, I'm not. Look, no, this is for God. Okay. This is for God. And I got to do it. It's not for me. I drink for God. Okay. And he likes a lot. He actually likes more than I probably should be doing. But
when I worship him. I do not want to hand over anything to paganism, anything to demons in any way, shape, or form. I do not conform to the ways of this world. Now, there are times where we are to walk and be regarded as something in order to preach the gospel. For example, Paul, he would say, when I am with the Jews, I'm a Jew. When I'm with the Greeks, I'm a Greek. But this doesn't mean that we celebrate their paganism. It doesn't mean that we partake.
I mean, you're missing out. I mean, if you don't have a tie on your head while drinking a glass of fucking rosé, it seems, then what are you even doing in life? Okay. See, this is why pagans are cooler than you guys. All right. I'm just saying, this is a possibility for pagans. It's not for you. Oops. I lost my spot. Oh, well, whatever, it doesn't matter.
Form to the ways of the world and therefore open yourselves up to spiritual warfare that you don't need to be involved in. There was actually temples dedicated to Janus, and Janus was a cult. It was a place where they worshipped and sacrificed to that pagan deity. They practiced.
Let's see, as I said, Pup is starting to listen. Finally, at least listen to me. Yeah, it takes a minute. Yeah, we actually have, I have my first puppy. And they're just now, a little over a year. My first puppy. And yeah, she's awesome. But it did take a minute for the puppers to start listening, I gotta say. And I'm finally kind of figuring out like how she communicates, like if she needs to go out and stuff. She's finally like, we put a bell on the door, so she like can hit the bell, but she doesn't ever seem to use it. But I don't know. but that is supposedly some way to help them, doggy potty train, so they know that when they're going out back, the bell. I don't know, but it does help. But it is a lot of fun. I love it. She's really cool. It's funny. I always wondered before, like, why people were so enamored with their pets and everything. I'd never had one, no, my entire life. So I mean, there were pets in the house at times, but it was always, they always latch on to like one person, and it always somebody else because I was never home, you know. And so now it's like, oh man, it's almost scary how much I love that thing. I'm like, this thing better live forever because I swear to God, like, better never feel 1 second of discomfort, or I'll go crazy,
Just idol worship, which literally goes against the first commandment. Of course, we know that. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. We know Yahweh is
Yeah.
the true God, and Jan.
That's it. Yeah, the main thing, pragmatics, right? They say, "Oh, cute." Use the same words, and they will listen. Yeah, you got to be consistent. That's the main thing. If you're going to use a word to mean something, you always need to use that word to mean something. You don't want to be switching back and forth to stuff because they don't. It's not like they actually know the words. They just know what the word sounds like, and then So yeah, that is actually excellent advice. Yeah. Use the same words and be consistent. And the other one I would say is ignore bad behavior and reward good behavior if you can. I mean, there's times where you're like, you have to like do something about the bad behavior, but if as much as you can, just ignore the bad behavior because they hate being ignored. That kind of is like that bothers them almost as bad as like you'd be like no, or spray it or something. I don't know, because they just want your attention anyway. Captive Death said, "Our pup pulled over my palm tree yesterday." What? So guess what we were doing today? Shampooing carpet. pulled pulled over. What do you mean? Like the palm tree fell? Like you had a palm tree, and your dog, your dog, what? Fucking tackled it? Like what happened? It's just like gut checked it like into the palm tree, and the whole thing was like woo, and fell down. The palm tree fell down, and now you're shampooing the carpet because the tree broke the ceiling. It broke the ceiling. It came when it fell. The palm tree fell down, and it broke the ceiling, and then a bunch of dirt got on the carpet because of the right. I feel like that. I need clarity here. That's got to be what you mean, right? Because why would you have to do the carpet anyway? Jeez.
Janus was also considered a god of commerce and trade, symbolizing a focus on material wealth and prosperity. But what are people trading? You see, what are people trading? They're trading their faith.
Okay,
They're putting their faith done today in spiritual warfare in a more powerful way.
Sorry.
And not hand themselves over to the ways of the world just because they are saved.
Please.
Now this is very interesting because what would people do in the ancient times to worship Janus? They would swear by it.
Ooh.
They would put.
You're like, motherfucker, fucking shit ass butt fuck. I swear by
a statement out about this.
As I said, do they realize programs? Pagan program. Wow, okay. Do they realize pagans use forks and knives and drive the same cars as the holier than thous? Don't tell them then we're gonna not have silverware anymore because they're like, you know what? We are, it'd go all the way to like the Supreme Court and be like, no more silverware. That's it would be like a couple dissents. There's just like 1 or 2 dissents in the Supreme Court for that because they're completely fucking insane right now.
Being, and they would say they're going to do something now, and they would invoke that demon. They would invoke that false god in order to be the mediator of what they're about to do. And that's exactly what people are doing on New Year's. They would also have feasts. They would drink and they would celebrate and have parties. And
it is so funny what I was picturing. It was like, I'm like, what, man? Okay. So Captain Death said, yes, it was, Crystal. My big palm tree in a big pot. Okay. That's what it is. That sits by the pond in season. And then he was licking it too. Okay. Interesting. So it was a potted palm. I was like wondering, like, because I'm in Florida, so like a lot of the palms. When I think of palm, I think those big fucking, those gigantic palms that are just everywhere around here. And I'm not saying a dog couldn't pull it over. I feel like it'd have to be like a huge, like a Great Dane or some shit, and it'd be some crazy fluke of it being rotten without realizing it or something like that. For what I was thinking happened to happen would be, but okay, I get it now. It's a potted kind, and he pulled it. Okay, that's pretty funny. Pragmatic said, "Of course he was." That's right. I bring mine in for winter too, Dave. Oh, that's what you were saying. Oh, I guess interesting. Okay, that's what you meant by seasoning. So you have to really, so you have to like bring plants in from outside if it's wow. Okay, that's again, no, it's a Florida thing that I never have to think about. Same as like shoveling my driveway of snow and stuff. I always just think is really interesting all the shit that people have to do in other places because I don't have to do any of that. In a tropical, it's just hot as fuck here though. That's the thing all the time. You're almost always like on the cusp of heat exhaustion, for about 9 months out of the year. But other than that, yeah, we don't have to move our plants around. So guess good. I guess it's good. Christopher said, my meat has never felt better. That's because of adamandeve.com. If you go to adamandeve.com, your meat will feel neat. Make your meat feel neat that's what I'm going to start. Okay, that's going to be my new one. Make your meat feel neat at adamandeve.com. Enter that code word Brently, BRENTLY at checkout. Just make your meat feel fucking neat. All right.
They would gather together with their families and see it as a special occasion when they come together to quote unquote honor that false god. A lot of people,
we have the meats
at adamandeve.com.
People have been deceived into it. Sadly, many are not aware that Babylon is still active, that paganism is still active, that Satan operates in any way he possibly can to steal worship from the Most High. Even when it's not a salvation issue, it's still very dangerous. You reap what you sow. Should we be partaking in Rome when we are now in Christ? The answer is simple, very simple. Christ always spoke with profound wisdom.
What?
And the word has...
What does that have to do with it, Maya? Okay? I think you're sounding inappropriate all of a sudden. Okay? What is that? Maya said, was it a black dog? Is that question necessary? Like, why? And I'd be very careful as to the next noun. That's so funny. I mean, Tucker Carlson has admitted, Christopher. I mean, Tucker Carlson has admitted that he is a lying grifter for fame and fortune. Ron DeSantis is actually a psychotic nationalist. Yeah, unfortunately, I think you're actually right about that. I think, because you're right, because I did hear him saying stuff the other, and it's so interesting how he'll like all of a sudden out of nowhere start making like socialist arguments. I was like on some page, I think it was somebody that subscribed to the show that I wasn't familiar with, and I went to their page and they showed like a whole bunch of like Tucker Carlson basically talking about socialist stuff, but like in a positive way. It was really interesting and weird. I was like, what? At first I thought it was like an AI thing, but it's not. It's just him saying his populist shit. You know what I mean? And a lot of times it's like he doesn't even realize that some of the stuff, or I think maybe he realized, but his audience doesn't realize that the stuff he's saying is socialist. It's kind of interesting.
Has many layers. Some people only read at the surface level. Others are able to see the meat, even where many...
Maya said, celebrating New Year's is woke. That's right. You know why? Because everybody experiences a year, right? No matter what belief system, no matter what your ethnicity is, no matter what, we can all come together with thinking that it's great that a new year is starting or celebrating a new year. And that's fucking woke, okay? Because fuck everybody. We're supposed to do things the way our in-group does, and all the other out-groups are fucking evil. And so it's woke. Yeah, I think you're right. Let's see. Christopher said, true, legit, making the demons look hella fun. I know, right? What are they trying to? It's amazing to me that they don't drive more people away. Which I kind of think they are now that I think about it. You know what I mean? Because like they're on the decline. Christianity and religion in general and church attendance and all that type of stuff is like on the decline like crazy. And I'm like, I kind of wonder if it has to do with these people just keep like they talk too much, right? They have too many YouTubes that anybody can go watch and be like, oh, this looks awful. I don't want to be a part of anything that they have anything to do with. And that's it. And that's why atheism is skyrocketing, you know?
We only see milk. So why do I not celebrate New Year? Well, because first of all, I consider all days the same.
Wow,
And I am
how far
fully
back did I
convinced in my
go?
own
I'm so
mind.
sorry. Oh, that's right. We were like here. Right? Wow. Oh, there we go. Okay. That's right. That's right where I was with the guy with the tie on his head. Yeah.
In their paganism.
Perfect.
It simply
Sorry.
means that we can be
Detail.
around people who are doing things of the world if our purpose to be there is to preach the gospel, but not to lie to ourselves.
What? So it's not that deep, Punkster. I don't know how deep it goes. All right. How are we supposed to know how deep it is unless we measure? Okay. And I'll throw a rock in there to see but that wouldn't really do anything. Yeah. That's it's like that. What was that movie? Cannibal, the musical. And they're like, how deep is the river? And the guy picks up the stick and just throws it in. He's like, ksh. Like, what the fuck was that supposed to do? It was so good.
And pretend that we're there to preach the gospel, but really you're just partaking in paganism, partaking in the things of the world. That's a completely different thing. So they say that
he is dancing his food into his own mouth. Don't show that if you don't want people to not want to do that. Okay. Like if you're trying to say that that's a bad thing, I have now just come to the conclusion that anything that you're saying is actually the bad thing because that dude looks like he's fucking living his goddamn best life.
That January is the first month of the year, but it's actually not.
And see, Christopher said, my mom thought, my mom. Oh, you're British. Okay. My mom thought animals were filthy until her sister gave her a puppy for the first time at 65 years old, instantly converted to Animal Fan Club. Fuck yeah, dude. Like, I know it's like you don't get it until you get it, until you have an animal, and then it's just like it just really clicks, But yeah, I always wondered about that. Like, people would always they'd have a bad day if their puppy had to wear the cone on its head or something. They would be having a bad day. And now I totally get it. I'm like, yeah, man, because you feel that little cuddle critter's pain, and you don't. And so it's great. Love it.
January would be the 11th month. February would be the 12th. You can see the evidence of that from October, November, December representing 8, 9, and 10 rather than representing.
Let's see. Captain Dash said, "Lab puppies get big quick." He grabbed a hold of a bunch and pulled it over. Oh, it's a lab. Yeah, we actually have our puppy's a part lab, but it's like a small lab. It's not like those big ass labs, but yeah, little black lab mixed with, I think it's like some kind of hound because it has the big huge ears, those big huge hound ears. I don't know.
10, 11, 12. I pray this has been informative. I pray this has opened your mind to what is really going on and who is truly controlling the world, not the spirit, but the world behind the scenes. And his days are running short. Christ is coming.
Oh, he's saying Satan. So he's saying Satan's the one that's actually running the show here. So just so you know. Man, I barely listened to this thing at all. I'm going to be honest. I need better stuff. This was boring, man. Where he used to be fun, I think, but it's just not. He's just, he almost sounds bored with himself. That's what that is. I need to go find some more Christian YouTubers that are still, not bored with their belief system. Let's see here. Here's what I'll do. We'll go to the comments for a little bit because I think that was the end of that video, and then we'll wrap it up. But let's see here. Okay, let me back up some of these. So it said, welcome to the Atheist Pup Talk Hour. Hey, I mean, would be probably the most successful atheist show on the planet. You know what I mean? If they were just like, hey, it's atheist, and they just sit with puppies, just talking about atheism. Like, man, isn't atheism so true? It is. It's so true. Anyway, look at this puppy. That's a fucking puppy right there. And you know, everybody be like millions of likes, millions of shares, everybody subscribed. Boom. Like that would be just huge. And it's funny too, like I feel like I noticed streamers doing this now where they have a separate camera that they're like, okay, and now a puppy camera. And it's just like a little corner, you know, on their stream. It's just like, oh, and here's some puppies you can look at. If you don't want to look at Hassan, here's his fucking puppies. So yeah, perfect. That's what you want, you know? Let's see. Captain Dex says, dogs can have vocabulary. They understand it around 200 words. What? Really? 200? Wow. I did not know it was that high. I knew that they, you know, you could tell that they, um, I don't want to say understand, but they they have some level of understanding. Let me just put that. And I don't know if it's from the actual words, although it might be the words, but it might just be the way that you say them. Because I've heard like inflection is something that they listen to a whole lot. And they can tell like if you're upset or not, kind of thing. I don't know. But let's see here. Oh, I already did that one. And that one. True. Let's see. Andrew said it would have to be Clifford. That's the dog pulling the tree over. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I've seen some pretty big palms come down from like nothing. But you know, we have them all over the place here, and some of them are dead, and you don't know it. And so, like a bicyclist will like bump and it like, "Holy shit! I just knocked down old tree." So that's the type of thing that I'm talking about. But let's see. As I said, Dave, I have a bully / lab mix, and he is as tall and as long as the pit already. No shit. Those bullies are fascinating. They're just fucking jacked. Like they just look. Remember the dog that was always the bad guy or whatever in Tom and Jerry that had like the little teeny tiny legs, but like the big old chest, and it was like that joke, you know, of like the skipped leg day dog or whatever. That's what bullies remind me of. You know, they just have that look. Let's see. Captive Tech said, I'm in Ohio. Oh, okay. Tropical plants come in for winter. Got it. Yeah. Okay. Ohio. That makes sense. Yeah. It's just funny that you said it because I just had never thought of that. That I've seen, like, there have been times when we were, you know, when we had like some type of, freeze, right? And you wouldn't have that many people bringing plants inside, but you did have people going outside and putting blankets on their plants, which is, I mean, apparently it works. I don't know, but I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense to put a blanket over them. But that's the most that I've seen anybody do anything like that around here. But again, you know, it doesn't. It's like if it gets to 70 degrees, that's freezing to us. You know, that's just so it's nothing. Pragmatic said, if you want them to live, yes, I love my plants. I live in South Louisiana. Okay. But it does get too cold for some of my plants in Louisiana. Okay. I know nothing about the climate of this country. I'm going to be honest. Like I always think like Southern state, like here's how my brain works. First of all, I thought that North Carolina was a northern state because it's in the fucking title. Like, why would you call it North Carolina if it's a southern state? Anyway, it doesn't. That bothered the fuck out of me for a long time. I was like, they're trying to trick me. And then the other thing is, if it is a southern state, I'm like, they're all Florida. They're all just like Florida because it's southern. You know, it's like paint everything's so like broad. Like, but obviously that's not true. You know, but that's just the way my silly brain goes. Uh, Let's see. Captain's Death of the Tail is wicked too. Yes, we've got a wicked tail. Yeah. Well, it's a bully. You know, those bullies have wicked tails. As I said, no kidding, Dave, it should be a registered weapon. The bully, the dog? Oh, the tail. Got it. All right. Let's see. Maya said, it's DeSantis. It's a valid question. Yeah, because he's the worst, and he hates dogs, which is fucking weird, right? Like that made me like, okay, I knew I was right about this person the whole time. Like even Tucker Carlson's like, he doesn't like dogs. I don't like him. It's like, wow, that dude's bad. Like he's bad news. Like it's possible that he is like Jason Voorhees in the evenings or something. Like he's a slasher movie. Captain Death said, hand in front of the jewels as overweight. Oh, the tail smack it. Oh, yeah, that's not fun. That's especially if the height is right there. That's funny. It's like those bullies are so big. That's like the or the lab, I guess. I don't know, because do bullies have tails? Or don't they take the tails off or whatever? I hear that's not right. I hear you're not supposed to do that because they can actually not balance themselves as well if they don't have their tail. That's what I hear anyway. I don't know. We watched a lot of dog YouTube when we first got our puppy because we had no idea what the fuck we were doing. So we were like, and then it's funny too because it's like the different YouTubes would say different things, and I'm like, fuck, which one's right, man? They're all saying like they all are acting like they know what you're supposed to do with the dog, and some of them are like giving advice that's the opposite of other ones. So frustrating. And I'm like, I have no idea how to check this. It's what's the scholarship say on how dogs the Harvard scholarship of how to take care of a dog. Let's see. Maya meant the dog that DeSantis kicked. Oh, yeah. I see. Yep. Let's see. Maya then. It was either, a black. Oh, I get it. Okay. Now. Oh, that's so funny. And that was so necessary. That context was so necessary because I was like, what? Like, why is the color of the dog? Okay, good. DeSantis kicked the dog, and now it makes perfect sense. All right. I'm glad. See, this is why Andrew's here to put these things together for me because I would never, I'd just keep on going without thinking of that. Pragmatic said, or God forbid, both. Probably both. Like, Bentley's worse at getting to comments than I am. I'm sorry. I know I'm like way behind. I know this is why I have to do this end part where I'll sit here and just read through the comments, make sure I can at least get down most of the way because it is hard to get. And Dave the Pit never got clipped. I find that what the pit. Oh, the pit never got clipped. Got it. I find that evil as fuck. So I have 2 tails to watch out for. Thinking about wearing a cup 24/7. Oh, I see. So you are against the taking the tails off, which is good. I hear that sounds mean too. Because what is it because of that? Is it because they knock stuff over? And so they're like, oh man, my fucking porcelain cups are more important than a dog having an appendage. That's kind of or a limb, I should say, actually. Holy shit, that's gross, man. What is it though? Why do they take the tails off? Does anybody know? What is that about? Let's see. Maya said, screw that guy. Chocolate Labs are freaking beautiful. Yeah, I heard too. It's funny you're saying the Chocolate Labs. I hear that they're like not. They're trying to claim that they're not as valuable because they're black. I was like, damn, what the fuck? So there's racism even when it comes to dogs. Like, what is happening? So like, if you have a black dog, they said that it's like not as good as like a white dog, and I'm like, that feels weird saying that shit. I don't know what the color of the dog has to do with fucking anything, right? My partner, she was saying that maybe she thinks it has to do with like photographing it. Like a lot of people want to photograph the dog if it's like a high class, whatever, like one of those pure breed, whatever fucking dogs. Like you want to be able to take pictures of it. And if it's too dark, it's hard to see or something. I don't know. I was like, maybe, I don't, I don't know. But Mighty Space Chicken said, that looks like my 18th birthday on the video, just with a lot less beer. Oh, with the guy with the tie on his head. And, yeah, and he was definitely just drinking rosé or something. This is funny. Let's see. Hey, Carrie, what's up? What's wrong with singing and dancing with your food? I didn't. Okay, I mean, I wasn't saying anything was wrong. Okay, I was actually saying he was saying that, right? So I would say nothing because sometimes you need to sing and dance with your food. You need to. All right, it's freeing. It's very freeing. When your mom says, "Don't play with your food," that was just because she didn't want you to drop it off the floor because then she would have to clean it up. But she's later that night after the kids go to bed playing with food, doing the airplane. That's she was doing that. You don't know about it because you were in bed by the time she did it. Andrew said, "You got to watch out for Happy Tail with Pibbles. They'll wag their tail even if it hits things and gets injured, makes it hard to heal. And when they wag it while it's bleeding, you can imagine, oh, poor thing. Ouch. That sounds awful. Yeah, and it makes so much sense too because there's so much sharp shit around, and they're just whipping that thing back and forth all the time, you know. It'd be like if you had an arm you couldn't control, you're just like walking around just all the time, just slapping people and shit, getting your glass stuck in your arm, you're like knocking over the fucking china cabinet, the arm you can't control, swacking back. Anytime you're happy, anytime you're about to eat or anything, you just start whipping everybody with your arm. That's so funny. All right. Captive Des said, I've always had black labs, but the shelter had chocolate pups when we were looking, so we have one now. He is a cutie. The chocolate eyes are neat, Maya. Oh, that's right, because that's so funny. You said chocolate because it is like they're different, right? It's not just a black lab, right? Chocolate labs are like that. They're like kind of brown, like they're more brown, right? They're not like that really stark black color that black labs are. Let's see. Carrie said, didn't God hand the deed to earth to Abraham? When did the devil claim it? I don't. It's weird how they go back and forth on this one because it's all through the Bible that the devil is the prince of the power of the air of this world. That's when they say like worldly gods or the devil's in charge of this world, yada yada. But they do also say stuff like this, where they say like God gave the deed to Abraham, and then they also say that we're the stewards of the earth and stuff. So, I think a lot of it's because, and I could be mistaken, but it seems to me like because the devil was something that was sort of added later, that might be why. I don't know for a fact or anything, but it would make sense to me that because the devil was sort of this character that was kind of retconned or whatever, retrofitted or whatever, like they put him in there as if he was always the same character, even though it wasn't. The character in Job and things like that were not the devil. But yeah, so I don't know. The book's it's almost as if the book is incoherent and contradicts itself a lot or something. I know, it's crazy. Amber, hey, what's up? Amber, DeSantis kicked a puppy. Yeah, I mean I don't know if he kicked it, but but something like that happened, and Tucker Carlson was not happy about it, and he was very public about saying that DeSantis freaked him out, and he actually thought that DeSantis was a bad person because he didn't like his dog and his dog didn't like him. So yeah. Pragmatics, are you surprised? Or no? Tucker's puppy? Yeah, I know. That's too funny. Amber said, not really, but it is a bit shocking. Nobody kicked him. Nobody kicked him back. Well, I mean, that we don't know. I mean, if I know Tucker, I don't, but I'd actually be really surprised if Tucker didn't just come up, oh yeah, and like start doing like, start coming at him and kicking and stuff. Like, you kicked my fucking puppy, and then laughing hysterically, like, trying to kick him. I don't know why. He turns into the Joker every so often, and it's so fucking funny. Let's see here. That seems weird. Tucker has a puppy. I know, right? Monsters can't have puppies like that. That's fucking weird, right? Yeah, Jerry Brentley's mind is going to be blown by the dogs that communicate using audio buttons. What? That's not real. What, like Congo? Like the little, like the gorilla in Congo? You know, it's like Amy, hungry. Amy, hungry. Okay, Congo is this really old movie. Came out after Jurassic Park, and it was sort of touted as another Jurassic Park-like movie, and it had an ape that had that could do sign language, and then it had these robotic things on its hands so that it would talk out loud when it did the sign language. That's what I'm referring to. So I know that's not a lot of people but know about that movie because it was, well, it's fucking terrible, but I still loved it. I think it was fun. Let's see. Pragmatic Crystal said, hurricanes have weakened them. The dogs? the hurricanes have weakened the dogs? That's a thinker. They weakened. I don't know. So you guys got to provide more context in your, your comments. I don't know what you're saying. Jerry said, I want to get a male pit bull and name him Mittens. Mittens? Here, Mittens. That just sounds so not accurate. Like some giant pit bull named Mittens. That's just like, oh, it's too funny. Hold on. Pragmatic said, my uncle has a tattoo of the Tom and Jerry dog. No shit, really? That's awesome. Did that dog have a name? Was it like Bruno or some shit? Or Brutus? Or was that just Popeye? Am I thinking of Popeye? I don't know what I'm thinking. Anyway, pits are so cute. They are cute. They are really. I like their little sleepy eyes, you know. But let's see. 70 out here is damn near beach weather. Yeah. I mean, we like I said, like if it gets down, like we're so used to it being like 90 something, you know. So that's beach weather to us. If it gets down to like 70, that usually means that it's, you know, and anywhere around there, like 65 is freezing. Like I think it's like 70 degrees out right now, and I'm inside my house with a fucking hoodie on because, you know, we don't understand temperatures here in Florida because we're so used to like dying from heat all the time that North Carolina is very southern. I'm starting to realize that word does not mean what I think it means. It has nothing to do with your location on the in the country. It's very relative term. Ember, they're the cutest and the bestest, and I will die on this hill. I mean, not only are they cute and sweet and everything, but they're also like great guard dogs, you know. Because people see those dogs and they are like, nope, not robbing that place. Nope, I'm out. I'm leaving right this second. Let's see. Yeah, they get snow in Georgia. Yeah, that's odd to me because they're like, what, just like, only a couple hours away. We went to Georgia just the other day. We went to Savannah. It's really not that far away. I think it's like 12 hours or something from where we're at. No snow that time, but it was pretty cold. It was definitely colder than here. So yeah, it's weird how the temperature. I don't know. The temperatures like make no sense to me when I'm like looking at what other people are posting because there are times when it's like 150, like not 50, but there's like 110 degrees and stuff. And I'm like, holy shit, that's like that'll murder you. Weather like right there, 110. But they, you know, to them they see it as not being that bad, and they say it's like dry. It's like that dry heat. You know, so it's not as, I guess it's not as bad as our moisture ridden fucking swamp. That yeah, it's just so it could be difficult. We just say only monsters take the tails off dogs. Thank you. Right? I can't. It's how cruel. Like, why would they do that? And it's like I said, they like it's like expected with certain breeds. It's strange. Like that's part of it being the breed. Like if you want a show dog, you have to cut the tail off of certain breeds. It's like, what the fuck, man? Why? Like, what is that? I don't know. Never understood that. But let's see. They have the biggest smiles and are in our big brain too. I knew a pit who spoke Latin. Well, obeyed in Latin. Who spoke Latin? That's pretty funny. They did really. Okay, so they made all their commands in Latin. So they sounded like a fucking Harry Potter spell every time they're trying to get the dog to go in the crate. Like Aspressus Craticus or whatever, you know. That's awesome. Asbestos Craticus. I don't know. Never mind. I don't know Latin words, but I don't know why I even tried to do that. I was way off. All right, y'all. I gotta wrap it there, but thank y'all so much for hanging out. And I will be back, I think, tomorrow. I'm gonna see what's up. I've been super busy lately and having a bunch of unexpected stuff happen. So it's been kind of rough. But if you want to have some unexpected stuff that's fun, go to adamandeve.com. Enter code word Brentley at checkout, and you can get 50% off almost any one item. 6 free movies, 3 free gifts, and free shipping on the whole order. Just go to adamandeve.com, enter code word Brentley, that's Brently, at checkout, and get your exclusive offer. And yeah, if you want to support the show in some other ways, you can go to patreon.com/punkapostate. We got some new stuff going up there. I think actually this is going to be, because this is going to get deleted like immediately. So if you saw this live, cool. But if not, then only patrons get to see it, because that's that's what we're doing here. But if you want to have just a one-time payment, or if you want to give just a one-time payment, you don't want to be tied down with your, stuff coming out of your account regularly. That's cool. Just go to Cash App. Our cash tag is Punkapostate, and you can give as much as you want at any time you want. No strings attached. You don't have anything to keep you from doing that. And yeah, it'll be all right. We also do, I'm not sure how it works right now, but we have like a free version of it seems we have like a free version of Patreon. So I think it's something that you can like try out for a particular amount of time, and then you can go back if you want. I think. I'm not sure how it works, but I've seen that we have a couple free members, which is totally cool, because I want people to see what's going on there. And like I say, I'm going to be putting out a poll on Patreon to see when it would be best for us to do kind of a live stream like this. But if anybody wants to be part of it, you can actually be on the call if you're a patron. So it'll be kind of cool. I'm going to put it out. I'm going to put the link in the Patreon feed, so patrons would have access to be able to be part of the stream if they want to. So it's kind of a fun thing, and we'll do it once a month. But all right, y'all. Well, hey, main thing though is to stay logical, loving, skeptical, and compassionate. And we will see you next time. Why is the music? Really weird. That fucking music. Anyway, here's the end. Whoa, hang on. That was 1, 2, 3. Thank you, 1, 2. See y'all. I don't know what the hell's wrong with music. Take it easy.